to Lick the Spoon. So happy to have you here today. We're going to do a quick garden tour, and we're also going to talk about zucchinis and pest control, because right about this time of year we're having a lot of issues with our squash, but we've got solutions, so we'll show you. Perennials, and that is the hydrangea. I made the mistake of putting this in a spot where it gets too much sun. After it established for a couple years, it started tolerating the sun better than what it did. But I love these huge blossoms. Along here, I've got 4 okra plants, which in 3 or 4 weeks they're going to be taller than me, which is fantastic. I love fried okra and pickled okra. If you know of any good pickled pot recipes for okra, let me know in the comments. I've got a pretty fantastic cucumber pickle pot, but I don't know if you can do that with okra or not. But let us know. That is just such a pretty color, so rich. And these you can just take right off the stem and snack on. What I normally do is just to go to the side here, and there's lots of pretty green beans. One of my favorite things to do, since I only get about a handful every few days, I don't have a lot of green beans planted, but I love to get a handful, take them inside, saute them in some olive oil, and chopped up cashews, and then put over a bed of rice is delicious with some sesame oil. One of our favorite lunches anyway. This was a volunteer, I think it's called yellow pear, maybe? Mini yellow pear tomatoes. Got some green ones, but because the tomatoes look like that. And since it started and I didn't have any plans for this specific corner, I just let it take off, and we'll just see what happens. This year with my tomatoes, and I think it was because my soil was diseased. I need to move them next year. I have some blight, I think is what it's called. The tomatoes, fortunately, they fought against it. I haven't treated them for the disease. They've just kind of grown out of it themselves. Here, I haven't taken this off yet. Here's where the disease is. I've just been taking these off the stem to try to prevent more spread. So it looks really puny down here, but if you follow me up, it's actually getting huge and still thriving. So don't be completely discouraged. If your plants are showing some signs of a fungus or a disease, don't quit, don't give up, because they can still produce some beautiful tomatoes. My absolute favorite thing to do every year is plant marigolds and basil in between my tomatoes. That has proven to keep the hornworms away for a few years now. Here's one of our little pumpkins that we planted 3 weeks ago, Jess? Give or take. We planted it so that it would grow in time for our late September harvest. We're going to decorate and carve. These are, I think, the jack-o'-lantern variety, so they're going to get huge. But I have 2 kiddos. This pumpkin plant belongs to my oldest kiddo, and I've got another pumpkin plant over there that's my youngest kiddo. So we're kind of having a fun competition to see which one grows better and stronger. So if you're a gardener, you understand the difference between green and like vibrant green. And I am so happy with how healthy and how green these zucchinis are, and they are thriving, and I'm going to share with you a couple things that I've done to help them along. You can see the zucchini is actually a vine, and as it grows, I have been covering the vine with soil, and that allows and promotes more root growth, provides you with a healthier plant. The new zucchini and all the blossoms are always going to come out the top of this vine. So covering the back area with soil is always a good idea to get that new root growth going. So my oldest kiddo, he is super excited to come out here with me almost every morning and help me take care of the squash bugs. If you have zucchini plants, you know exactly what I'm talking about when I say squash bugs. They are the plight of many a zucchini gardener. So let's walk you through some things to do to help you get that under control.
We now are ready to get some squash bug eggs. Squash bug eggs, you know what I'm talking about. They suck. And what you're going to need to take care of squash bug eggs is a little pail and some scissors. So what you want to do is you want to look under the leaves and look for some, and then try to find some. Oh, right there. That's what they look like. If you guys do not know what they look like, that is what they look like.
You'll just have to take, since it's so close, you just need to take the whole leaf off.
There they
Hold
are.
this.
And then we put that in the pail. And then we'll just keep on looking. Oh, we have two little batches of squash bug eggs right there. And I don't know if you guys can see it, but right there. So now we're just gonna cut that portion off and then put it in a bucket. And then go right here, cut on down, chop that, there we go. Throw that in the bucket. Okay, here we have some more. And cut that.
Good job. Just cut part of the leaf off if you can, not the whole leaf.
And there we go. We do this at least once a week. Now you'll also need a knife for this because you can also find zucchinis, so take your knife.
There you go.
And then we got a perfect zucchini right here. We have some more right here. I'm gonna put these in the bucket. Well, that looks like all of the squash bug eggs we're going to be finding today. We are now going to take this pail and we're going to bring it up to my mom.
The adult squash bugs that get pretty big, maybe 1/2 to 3/4 of an inch big. You just squish them. You just dispose of them because they will devour your plants and make lots and lots of babies. So anytime you come across one, dispose of it.
Where's the zucchini? And then you want to do the same with the eggs.
Gotta dispose of them. Don't stick those things in your compost. So as you might have seen, there were quite a few weeds. Towards the end of summer, things start sprawling out in the garden and getting a little ugly. In the springtime, they're nice and compact and neatly planted, and you got mulch everywhere and your weeds covered. But towards the end of summer, things just get big. So it's sprawled out and your weeds are going crazy, but that's okay. It's part of it. I definitely don't stress over weeds anymore like I used to, because it's, like I said, it's part of the garden. Embrace it and just enjoy your harvest. Me and my family absolutely love grabbing cucumbers and zucchinis and tomatoes out of the garden, green beans every day. My boys look forward to going out in the morning and seeing what grew overnight. So my wish is to spread that joy to other people and other communities so that they know and they can be fulfilled by gardening, which is such a basic thing that I feel like we've all lost touch of in this instant gratification, electronic driven world that we live in. Let's go back to the roots. We're rooted. Let's get rooted. I hope you enjoyed this garden tour video. If you go back to the last garden tour we did, it's quite a bit different. Things just change over a short amount of time. So like, click, subscribe, comment, do all the things. We would greatly appreciate it. Thanks. Bye.